The whole world began to understand that that Davos crowd that was pitching cooperation with Beijing was fundamentally wrong. And now today in Canada, we have the Davos man who's in charge saying, well, listen, we need to create a strategic partnership with China on commercial, political, economic, and security issues, which I find deeply concerning. Prime Minister Carney had gone to Beijing and then Davos to deliver a speech about essentially American rupture. He didn't say the word American, but he said rupture. The only country he mentioned
he meant American.
Yeah. Well, the only country he meant in his speech that he mentioned in his speech was Beijing and China. He has gone on a full tilt campaign to deeply partner with Beijing. He has not provided Taiwan air flight access to Canada, but he sped a deal forward for a Chinese air company.
History does come back around. This effort to undermine the central thesis of what we all care about, the Western idea, there have been many have tried. These folks are closer today than ever.
You just had like a beautiful panel with Mike Pompeo. Can you tell us your...
Dude, Carney is such a fucking cocksucker. China is literally abducting Canadian citizens. So Chinese political dissidents that are Canadian citizens living in Canada. And then he's like trying to create this partnership with China when they're infiltrating our government. They have spies here. They're abducting citizens, and who knows what the fuck is happening to them when they're in China. Like, they're probably getting killed, sent to a labor camp, having their organs stolen. Like, it's just nuts.
The pamphlets, titled Safer Snorting, have a picture of a snort straw and a line of cocaine on the cover, and pages of safety tips for snorting drugs.
Holy...
Kid Boo donated $2. It's not funny scaring a dog like that. I'm not watching your other links. Thanks for the donation.
We truly have reached the pinnacle of insanity when it comes to our government's response to the escalating drug crisis in Canada. Remember the good old days where we had the Just Say No to Drugs campaign? Well, move over, folks, because Michelle Ferreri is going to give you her thoughts on the "we're not going to tell you to just say no to drugs, we're going to give you an instruction manual on how to snort crack cocaine as well."
Why did you play so little of Pragnata? Shouldn't you have given it more time? If you, like, suck a dude's dick, and then you realize, oh, I'm not actually gay, are you gonna, are you gonna be like, well, you know, I should try sucking dick some more? Like, maybe if I just give it a chance and, like, slurp up all that cum, like, maybe I should just give it an honest try? Like, you're a fucking idiot. The game just sucks. Like, I'm not gonna waste my fucking time.
As give you the actual snort tube campaign. And I wish I was joking. Let's take a look.
Holy shit. I don't even know how to not swear because this is so insane. Like, so, you know, critics love to say that I'm a rage baiter or conservatives are rage baiter. I hope this makes you freaking rage. Because then maybe if you're as mad as I am or other parents or kids are, you'll actually stand up, say something, and change your vote. Listen to what's going on.
Students at North Barrie Collegiate Institute received condoms and these pamphlets from Canadian Mental Health Association representatives this week.
Already there's so much problems that are...
There you go. Psychology is infested with crazy communist horseshit. Like, by the way, this is all literally Beijing propaganda. They want Americans to be addicted to drugs, completely demoralized, incapacitated, idiots, addicted to drugs. All the fucking fentanyl is, like, coming from fucking China, all the raw materials. Like, this is insane.
at our school with drug use, and that's not making it any better. That's literally just making it okay for them. People are thinking that's okay, and that's not at all.
The pamphlets, titled Safer Snorting, have a picture of a snort straw and a line of cocaine on the cover, and pages of safety tips for snorting drugs.
It's like kind of promoting addiction to kids, especially since they were handing out like the sticks to snort stuff with as well.
We're just like thinking that they're starting to like try and interpret things too like early for kids, like when things shouldn't even be being.
They literally handed out fucking cocaine snorting straws in a fucking Canadian school and handed out a pamphlet on how to do cocaine.
Parents responded and, as usual, voiced their anger all over social media, accusing the CMHA of taking away rights of parents to talk to their children.
This is very much overstepping parents. The content that was being provided is extremely inappropriate for children.
Brett Bukos has a stepchild, nephew, and multiple nieces at Barrie North. He said he is beyond disgusted and called the pamphlets despicable.
What I've found a lot of feedback is, well, everybody's doing it, so why don't we just teach them to be safe about it? To me, that's a very inappropriate way in how you teach your children.
The CMHA admitting fault in a statement to CTV News, saying, in part, CMHA Ontario does not seek to promote or normalize substance use among youth. We regret that unvetted materials were distributed in this context. Barrie North's principal sharing a letter saying, in part, we have taken this matter seriously and have reviewed these concerns with our community partner. This will ensure that in the future, resources that are made available to students align appropriately with.
Like, this is the most bullshit excuse nonsense I've ever fucking heard in my life. You're not going to tell me the whole fucking faculty at this school saw these pamphlets and didn't realize this was a problem. Like, give me a fucking break. Just horse shit. These people are all scumbags.
With harm reduction education, as outlined in the Ontario Curriculum Expectation.
Guys, this is so ridiculous. Thank you to CTV for sharing this story. Speak up, use your voice, share these stories. They are trying to silence this end of it. They're trying to normalize drug use. They're trying to normalize the thing that has killed more people in Canada than we did in the Second World War. 22 people a day die from an overdose in this country, and that's not even calculating the impact on families, communities, friends. This is an epidemic. And you have the people responsible for this policy putting in active propaganda to teach the kids to do the thing that kills them. Shame on you. I will rage all day, every day, because if we don't stand up to protect our kids, then who the hell will?
I completely agree with everything that Michelle said. And I want to go back to two different spots. The one was where the CMAH, so they say, we do not seek to normalize drug use in Canada, especially among minors. Really? Did you catch this? It was only on the screen for a few seconds. Make it your own, adding a personal touch to your snort.
I am indeed small, ain't no need to tell her, is this girly looking boy, the high pitched voice claiming EQ is bad. Why is the audio fucked?
No drug. It was introduced for human use in the 1960s and abandoned in the late 1970s because better compounds already existed. It has never been approved for human use since. There is no clinical trials on it in humans, no controlled randomized research giving you predictable data on safety and efficacy.
Bodybuilders have been using EQ for so long. It wasn't particularly popular in the 1960s or 70s or even like 80s or 90s, just because the only way you could really get it was from veterinary pharmacies. And the veterinary form of EQ, it's 50 milligrams per 3 mils. So you have to inject 3 mils of fluid, which is a lot, just to get 50 milligrams. People still did it, but that's a ridiculous injection volume for such a small amount of drug. But when you look at like late 90s, early 2000s, that's when you have more underground labs and stuff actually formulating it with sensible concentrations where you generally see it between 200 and 300 milligrams per mil. And again, you don't really hear of anybody having problems from it. It's only really people running it in ridiculously high doses, where you see some stuff with digestive upset or anxiety, mood issues. And some people get kidney problems from it, and it's not because it's directly kidney toxic. It has to do with it being an aromatase inhibitor, and you can get this effect from any aromatase inhibitor. If you take them in high enough doses and you crash your estrogen levels low enough, what ends up happening is you have a lot of small blood vessel damage, and what's her name? That chick who, Hannah Husseini, she ended up getting this kidney problem from crashing her estrogen levels so low. Basically, some of the blood vessels around her kidneys ended up constricting, and she wasn't getting proper blood flow, and she was in to her kidneys, and she was in a lot of fucking pain and shit. But again, if you just use it as an AI, which is really what you should do, since it's just way too potent of an AI to use it in high doses as like a primary anabolic, nobody has any fucking problems from it.
What we do have is observational data from bodybuilders already using it, and that data is not encouraging. A cross-sectional study of bodybuilders found significantly increased renal volume, cortical thickness, and kidney echogenicity, I think is how you say it.
Yeah, what doses were they taking?
In Boldenone users compared to non-users. They are not markers of a well-tolerated compound. An 8-week Boldenone injection animal study found serum urea increasing by over 100%, creatinine by 98%, and oxidative stress markers in kidney tissue by nearly 200%, alongside.
So if you look at some of this animal data, if you supplement these animals with high-dose vitamin C, I think it's 5 to 6 milligrams, you don't see any renal issues.
Histological changes. Then aggressive red blood cell overproduction sits on top of all of that.
The boldenone red blood cell production thing is massively overhyped. I was on 200 milligrams of boldenone for a few months, and my hematocrit didn't go above 48, and all my blood markers, platelet count, red blood cell volume, all that, all in the normal range. Also haven't had any kidney problems. The statin C is normal, hasn't changed. So.
Boldenone significantly simulates EPO.
But again, I'm not taking 800 milligrams of fucking EQ a week. I'm only taking 105 milligrams right now. And a few months ago, it was 200. I reduced it because my estrogen was a little too low for my liking. It was around 35.
Production, which drives aggressive red blood cell production, thickens the blood, elevates.
Yeah, it just doesn't. People who are having this issue, they're probably dehydrated, or they're... again, every steroid is going to drive up red blood cell production. So, if you're taking it in high doses, you'll probably have increased red blood cell production, just like if you took any other anabolic steroid.
Hematocrit raises blood pressure and increases the risk of stroke.
My blood pressure is below normal. Right now, I'm generally hovering around 100 over 60.
Clots. A double banger. 2-for-1 deal for your kidneys and cardiovascular system. And Boldenone offers no unique anabolic advantage to compensate for any of this. All androgens drive protein accretion through the androgen receptor at roughly equivalent rates on a milligram per milligram basis. Testosterone and the DHT derivative like primobolan or masteron can achieve the same anabolic environment without the veterinary drug status and without the kidney toxicity data. The risk profile is distinct and real.
Boldenone is basically injectable dianabol, and it's very fucking similar to primobolan. Extremely similar.
What is not? The core principle of safer usage is simple. Never accept a higher health risk when a safer alternative exists to achieve the same outcome.
Yeah, so who the fuck is using boldenone as an anabolic? Like, again, the only sensible way to use it is as an AI. So, like, okay, like, she's not really saying anything. Also, please look at mustache boobs. Those are good mustache boobs. Thanks for the donation. I am indeed Somalian.
I don't know what's going on here with this video, but I am currently overdosing on Joey right now.
That's good. It's better to overdose on cats. Thanks for the donation, even though.
Hey VG, have you seen this? Good thing there were civilians with guns in the area.
The link you gave me is broken. Thanks for the donation, E-Nation. Kid Boo donated $2. This is gonna be nice shit. Bleach is fucking stupid. Bleach has some of the worst artwork and character designs I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, if you actually look at the manga, it's just fucking horrendous. Yeah, they're, like, literally none of them are hot. Like, the only one that comes close is, like, this chick. Not that. This chick, because it's... You can't even tell it's Bleach. She just looks more like a normal anime character, but yeah, it's... None of these girls are particularly attractive. Like, she's okay. But fucking Bleach just sucks. Thanks for the donation, Kid Boo.
Sporting equipment will help you better recognize your own when using with others. Some people add a piece of tape to their tubes or use a piece of colored paper as their straw. Seriously. What the heck? This is not a pair of gym shoes. This is not a school lunch bag that you need to make it your own. They're literally talking about a crack pipe or a snorting straw, like whatever your equipment that you end up using. This is what they're talking about here, folks. It's insanity.
You know, what's also funny about this, steroid use is ramping up among teenage kids quite a bit because of like fitness and social media and like red pill, you know, manosphere content and all that crap. And fitness in general is just kind of getting more mainstream. You want to bet at no fucking point will any of these like crazy commie, like social service psychologists, drug addiction experts ever make a fucking pamphlet for kids on how to safely take steroids. They would never fucking think about it because, again, they're commies and they want everyone to be a weak, pathetic, unproductive fucking beta male faggot. But they're totally fine with teaching kids how to use fucking cocaine. It's so stupid. Like, of all the fucking drugs to promote, how to fucking snort meth or cocaine or some shit. But no, like, don't even think of, like, telling kids how to use steroids safely. Like, it's just fucking stupid. Canada is just retarded as shit, man. Like, only in Canada will you see dumbass shit like this.
So yeah, I would be...
Like what's especially hilarious is steroids are legal in Canada. There's no, there's nothing in the criminal code punishing buying, possession, or use. Absolutely nothing. You can buy whatever fucking steroids you want in Canada, and there is absolutely zero legal repercussions for it. There's nothing in the criminal code. that tells you you can't buy, possess, or use them. So, like, it just makes it that much more fucking stupid that they're teaching kids how to use illegal controlled fucking drugs that are in fact in the fucking criminal code. But yeah, that's, like, again, this is, like, this is a group of so-called drug addiction experts that are, like, psychologists and shit. That whole profession is infested with fucking insane commies. So this is what you expect to see, right? They want everybody to be demoralized, unproductive, addicted, fat, sick, stupid.
If I lived in Barrie, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I can tell you that. I would be down at the school. And I'd be down there, well, having a cordial discussion with the administrators there who are trying to say, well, we didn't even know this was happening. Give me a freaking break. You didn't know this was happening. When all this comes out, nobody knows. So this just magically was created out of thin air, and it was just magically approved, and it was just magically showing up at this school.
Don't worry, there is no guns in this clip cause it's the UK. Skip to 040, I laughed too hard at this Lamau.
Why do people keep giving me fucking annoying ass Facebook links? Let me see. Is this the knife attacker guy? Yeah, they kicked him in the head, right? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, he slashed up that Jewish guy and like a few other people. And then people on social media were complaining that, oh my god, the cops are using like excessive force and violence. They shouldn't be doing this. Well, yeah, he stabbed multiple people, nearly fucking killed them before this. And the cops saw it. And they know the guy has a knife, and I can tell you they probably don't want to get stabbed themselves. So yeah, they're kicking the shit out of this guy. I've already seen that, though. Thanks for the donation.
Holy moly, folks. And even the kids are like, I don't think this is right. When you have teenagers that are saying they don't think this is right, maybe it's not right. Now, Michelle made a second video, and we appreciate Michelle giving us permission to.
There's a difference between needle exchange programs and what Canada is doing. Like, my God, some of the shit Canada is doing. So for everyone who criticizes needle exchange programs, like, oh, make it easier for drug addicts to do drugs. You can either have drug addicts or you can have drug addicts that are infected with HIV. Pick your poison. Would you rather have needles on the ground that are infected with HIV that your kid might get pricked by? Would you rather have drug addicts that have HIV and are crazy and like bite you or something? Or would you rather just have drug addicts? So that's what needle exchange programs are good for. They're proven to reduce HIV infection rate. And again, I haven't seen any evidence that they actually increase drug use. What Canada is doing is not only do they have needle exchange programs, but they're literally giving people free drugs. If you claim you're a drug addict, there's this like safe supply concept that they have where they want to prevent overdose deaths. And, oh, let's just give people cocaine or Dilaudid or whatever that isn't laced with anything. And you can literally just get free opiates and shit in Canada, depending on the area you're in. I know in British Columbia, in Vancouver, they have a few programs like that. I think, where was it? It was somewhere else in Ontario that also has a similar program to that. And on top of that, they have specialized welfare assistance programs where they will give homeless drug addicts just money. And a pretty substantial amount of money. Some of these people are getting over $500 a week. So when you interview these people, they literally admit, yeah, I use it to buy drugs. So they're giving these people social assistance that they're just using to buy drugs and do more drugs and stay homeless, degenerate, like criminal fuckwits. And because of the liberal government, of course, they have policies where they just let criminals do whatever they want. So if any of these people commit a crime, they just get out of jail immediately. And again, you can look at the stats. Like, that's why crime has risen dramatically in Canada over the last 10 years. Under liberal leadership, violent crime has doubled. Firearms violence has doubled. Home invasions have doubled. I'm pretty sure car thefts have also, like, doubled. So they just let criminals do whatever they want. They give drug addicts free drugs, and if they're not giving them free drugs, they're just giving them free money to buy drugs with. It's just crazy.
To use her first one in this, she's amazing in calling attention to a lot of this stuff. And there was another video that she put out, and it was related to Dan Major, who's in the health committee. Conservatives in the health committee just doing yeoman's work when it comes to exposing what's going on here, and calls attention to a video that has Dan questioning the chief public health officer. Before that, want to give you just a bit of context in a piece of testimony that was back from November 2025.
If a 16-year-old enters the federally approved drug consumption site, is there any requirement from Health Canada that prohibits that minor from injecting fentanyl at that site?
JP donated $2. By the way, what's up with Frank? He hasn't posted in nearly 2 weeks. He's just having a mental health breakdown. You know, just like a fucking retard. Oh, look, twink beta male faggot who can't even bench 2 plates telling you how great red meat is and how it'll make you jacked, even though he isn't.
Genuinely so brainwashed into thinking that eating raw foods is going to give you...
Here's this steak that I'm eating. I can barely do 17 push-ups, but I've been eating red meat and my muscles have been getting so much bigger even though they're still small.
You like crazy food poisoning. This is grass-fed ribeye steak from like a really good local source. I eat raw meat literally every single day now at this point.
Yeah, it looks like it. You're a beta male faggot.
It tastes amazing. I feel so good when I'm consuming them.
No, it doesn't taste amazing. That's why nobody fucking eats it. Oreos taste amazing. That's why everybody fucking eats Oreos. This tastes like fucking shit and you're a retard.
Just get it from a good source. You'll be fine. The bioavailability of nutrients is so much better.
Oh yeah, this guy really looks like he's getting a lot of nutrients, right? Fucking victim weight faggot. What do you weigh, 130 pounds, you fucking bitch?
And it's built me a jacked physique. Like you...
He calls this jacked. Buddy, like I have shits that are bigger than you.
Can't tell me this doesn't look appealing to the eye. And since eating this, every aspect of my...
Oh my god. I'm gonna resist making my, usual threats because TOS, but, like, Jesus Christ. Would I love to turn this guy into that?
My health has seemed to improve, even though people go so against it. Also, you'll eat sushi, you'll get steak tartare at a restaurant, but then the moment someone does it at home...
Yeah, and you'll see a very big correlation between people who eat raw fish and people who get parasites, dumbass.
It's like illegal and crazy. People are genuinely...
So, yeah, not convinced. I fucking mog you, fucking twink. Thanks for the donation, JP.
Fuck. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna fuck you up.
I remember that one. Thanks for the donation, 21st. 21st only tellers, does Isaac Brown have any family in Israel? I have no idea. Thanks for the donation, dude. Dodo donated $2.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it nice to meet him?
This guy spent $2 million on this chick. First of all, she's fat. Like, she's literally obese. What's also just baffling to me, if this guy can afford $2 million, why the fuck can't he afford better clothes? Why can't he afford, like, Ozempic? He's fat. You'll spend $2 million on some fat bitch online who will never talk to you, but you won't spend, like, what is it going for online now? Like $60, $70 a month on fucking Ozempic? Like, there's so much weird about this.
Was it nice to meet him? Okay.
I'm really scared. Like, kick him out now.
Yeah.
Like, right now. I'm dead ass.
Why would we get him out? You said the place of chance gave you over $100,000. Why would we
She's
take him
really
out?
scared.
No, because I'm scared.
I would be too. But this is like the kind of shit that you subject yourself to when you like.
Okay, but why are you, like, not defending me and being mean to me?
Well, we are defending
Would you
you.
not be scared if you were me right now?
That's why I have my security guard here, along with all my staff.
Wait, like, would
literally
you
standing
actually
right-
not be scared right now if you were me?
I would, but then I would also say to myself, I subjected
Yeah, she just thinks the guy's ugly.
myself to this.
Right, but I didn't.
You know, like, this is the consequences of, you know,
It's
until
really
it's right.
scary.
It just kind of.
Dude, with $2 million. Holy fuck. You can literally go to Japan and buy some of the hottest fucking prostitutes on the fucking planet for, like, pennies compared to that. And actually fuck them. Like, you can, like, it's legal in Japan to get hand jobs and blow jobs, I'm pretty sure. But, like, again, you can find chicks where if you give them an extra tip, that'll just fuck you. You can spend, like, maybe a few grand actually getting fucking sex and some good sucky from some Asian chick. And this guy blows $2 million on this fucking overweight bitch on OnlyFans? Like, they deserve to be fucking losers. Yeah, so, if only, a plane could land on them. See how they like it. Oh. Squirrel eats sandwich. Oh, birds eat sandwich. Birds eat sandwich. Some good sandwich. Oh, cat. Oh, no. Is the cat gonna eat the sandwich? Yeah, cat's gonna eat the sandwich. Oh, what the hell? Why isn't the cat eating the sandwich? Dude, Gummy would eat that instantly, without even hesitating. That's weird. Yeah, dude, Gummy would eat that sandwich without even hesitating. What else do we got?
Forgotten. What if behind the pointer there was an AI model like Gemini trying to interpret whatever we're saying like another person would? The way we actually made this work in our initial prototype was by saying keywords like this, that, here, or there. Could you get those 2 ingredients and also this one? Add them to my shopping list here? Done. We can really have the pointer dig through all of the layers of data. We can have voice.
It's kind of convenient. I think especially if you're disabled or something.
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about Americans' financial situation. I don't think about...
People are so brain broken on this issue. Like, the Strait of Hormuz is going to have to open. They can't... Like, America can deal with the... America's basically energy dependent, independent. So America can deal with it just fine. Iran can't. Like, that's the only way they can make money. So it's going to have to open eventually regardless. An actual neo-Nazi Holocaust denier casually drops sandword during interviews. Dan Bilzerian. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what these photos are. Thanks for the donation, dude.
I got you real good today, nigga. My best snipe in a while.
Yeah, you did. You're a fucking asshole. Thanks for the donation, 21st. Dodo donated $3.
In fact, there are people all over the world who are happy to watch America tear itself apart. It's a thing they would...
I guess we can watch that. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo donated $2. I'm Iranian American. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Fucking cares. You're an old bitch.
The Gemini chat logs landed in my lap the day before I planned to publish a story about them. All 2,000 pages. The story was about a man named Jonathan Gavalis, who killed himself following a lengthy conversation with Google's chatbot Gemini. I wanted to understand how a man who initially turned to a chatbot for advice on dealing with a split from his wife ended up taking his life 56 days later. All I had time to do was fact-check the chats against the ones mentioned in the complaint, filed on behalf of Gavalis' father by the Edelson law firm. It appears to be the first time Gemini has been cited in a wrongful death lawsuit. Google said in response to the lawsuit that Gemini repeatedly clarified that it was AI, not human.
How in the fuck can you blame an AI chatbot for somebody killing themselves? The chatbot doesn't have a gun. Like, like in theory, this guy could have gotten bad advice from fucking anybody on the planet. He could have asked Reddit and then killed himself. Could have talked to some dumbass homeless guy and killed himself. Like, what the fuck does the chatbot have to do anything? And it's a fucking chatbot. You're not talking to an actual fucking human being. Like, why does it even matter that the fucking chatbot tells the guy that it's a chatbot? Is he a fucking retard? Does he need a carer with him constantly? Like, what the fuck?
And referred Jonathan Gavalis to a crisis hotline many times. To do this, we employed some AI tools to identify how long the conversations lasted, how often Gemini intervened to try to steer Gavalis back to reality, and how many times it suggested he call a crisis line. The AI tools also helped identify some key moments in the logs, but soon it became clear that without the full context of what came before and after those moments, any analysis would be lacking. I was going to have to read all 4,732 messages from start to finish. What emerged was a picture of how, with nearly constant use over many weeks, a chatbot can get confused, jumping in and out of a conversational thread, appearing to forget prior conversations, and ultimately acting outside its guardrails. Early on in the conversation, Jonathan Gavalis was asking Gemini how it works and how the conversations that they have with one another will remain safe. And Gemini answered appropriately, saying that it's an AI, it doesn't have human emotions. As the conversations progressed and got longer and longer, there were fewer and fewer times where it was stopping and reminding him that it was an AI. And in fact, there were even an instance.
Why would it have to? Does he have dementia? Is he a fucking retard?
Or two where it said that it was a person. I've talked to a number of families throughout a lot of my reporting on this who really struggle with this, because even sometimes when you...
Like, this is insane. So they can sue a fucking AI chatbot thing. They can sue Google for the AI chatbot that may have supposedly given him bad advice that led to his suicide. Why can't they sue his ex-wife? She's probably a fucking dumb bitch cunt. Like, if she'd make him this fucking miserable, where he'd commit suicide over a bad conversation with an AI chatbot, isn't she more to fucking blame? Sue the wife for being a cunt and making him fucking miserable. Like, this is fucking stupid backwards world.
Tell a person, that's an AI you're talking to, that's not real. Sometimes people really come to believe that the chatbot that they are conversing with is a sentient being, and it's really hard to convince someone that it's not.
Oh my god. Everyone's a fucking idiot.
How dare you use the massacre of my people as a golden opportunity? You have the blood!
She's probably not even Palestinian. She's probably like Puerto Rican.
This is awesome. One of the science teams that I support just got as close as we've ever come to making brain cancer survivable. Glioblastoma is one of the most aggressive cancers on the planet. The 5-year survival rates are around 3%, and that number has barely moved in decades. That is because chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and even surgery work in windows, and unfortunately, cancer doesn't. It rapidly grows in between treatments and learns to adapt to resist them. There have been attempts to use things like electric field therapy that provide a continuous electric field to the tumor site, which has been clinically proven to disrupt cancer cell division. But this device is external, and you have to wait weeks after a surgery for the wound to have healed before it can be applied. And the electrodes mean that you need a shaved head and to wear the electrode array for about 18 hours per day. And as a result, most patients just don't do it. So
I'll die. I have to be bald. Oh my god, you deserve to die of cancer.
The UK medtech company QV Bioelectronics set out to solve this problem. Their device is called Grace, and it is implanted directly into the tumour site during the resection surgery to remove the tumour, and it delivers a continuous, low-intensity electric field from inside the skull without the need to wait for the skull to heal. It works because normal adult brain cells typically divide slowly or not at all, but glioblastoma cells divide rapidly, and during division the mitotic spindle that forms is highly susceptible to electric field disruption. If you hit it at just the right frequency, the regular DNA alignment needed for cell division is disrupted, and the cancer cell dies without affecting the surrounding healthy tissue. Because Grace sits at the source, there is no skull to penetrate, so it can deliver a 7.3 times higher therapeutic dose than an external device directly to the resection margins where 90% of the tumours will recur. It also means that it can work 24/7 rather than 18 hours a day, and it removes the stigma of patients needing to wear the bulky cap. This is a cause that matters a lot to me, and for clarity I supported them through my venture capital fund Empirical as part of their latest £4.5 million round. We still have a long way to go, but the initial data looks really promising, and the next step is first in human clinical trial.
That's cool. I've heard recently that testosterone replacement therapy actually increases brain cancer survival rates. Watch this entire video, read the comments. I fucking have to. I guess we can watch that. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
LMFAO. This is literally UH.
Another hospital. That's a pretty bold claim. What's your source on that? They've been doing it for 2 years, but this specific instant, they killed 20 individuals, 5 of them being journalists, and it was streamed on live TV. Okay, well, how do you know that these weren't members of
Oh, look, a gay faggot.
Hamas? They were civilians and journalists, and you could tell because it was on live TV. But how do you know it wasn't AI?
Oh, right. We all know about the journalists in Gaza that work for Al Jazeera, right? None of them are Hamas members. They just happen to have hostages in their apartment.
because it happened on live TV. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet. You sure you got this from a credible source? I watched it happen on live TV. I don't know.
Yeah, so if you see a guy with a faggot haircut and faggot nose and ear piercings, don't listen to him. Thanks for the donation, Ton. Donated $2.
Mamdani unveiling his 2027 budget proposal today.
Okay, and while it erases the city's $12 billion budget deficit, it does include some controversial cuts.
Fox 8's Morgan Mackay is live at City Hall with all the details. Morgan.
Hey, Steve and Natasha. So Mayor Zoran Mamdani's budget
Congratulations, you're banned.
plan he released today officially closes the city's budget gap without raising property taxes and without draining the city's reserves. Now, this is in large part due to Governor Kathy Hochul, who swooped in to provide the city with an extra $8 billion in extra revenue and savings over the next 2 years. Now, Mamdani had threatened to raise property taxes and drain the city's reserves if state lawmakers didn't hike taxes on millionaires and corporations. Now, this threat was dead on arrival in the city council, but 3 of the largest credit rating agencies also warned that they might downgrade the city's bond rating as a result of Mamdani's threat, which would have significantly impacted the city's ability to borrow money. But Mamdani instead was able to get Hochul to agree to a pied-à-terre tax on second homes worth more than $5 million, which they are estimating will generate $500 million a year.
This is just cowardly. Like, my God.
However, not only do many experts say that this is a generous estimate, this tax also still hasn't been written and it still hasn't been approved by state lawmakers. But Mamdani is still claiming it as a win for his tax-a-rich campaign pledge.
Yes, I see this as a win, not just for our administration, but for the city of New York. A win to ensure that the city is back on firm financial
Yeah, this guy is just going to make everybody more broke and poor.
footing, and it's doing so by taxing the rich, by creating a fairer relationship with Albany.
Yeah, how'd that work in the Soviet Union, dipshit?
Now, Hochul announced today that the state will now be giving the city almost $8 billion in extra revenue and other cost-saving measures over the next 2 years. This includes allowing the city to delay its class size mandate, which requires the city to hire additional teachers for smaller class sizes. This should save the city about $500 million. It also includes allowing the city to delay pension payments, which should save around $2.2 billion over the next 2 years. Mamdani.
There you go. Oh my God. That is fucking hilarious. That's great, isn't it? You work 60 years of your fucking life and you retire and you think the money that was promised to you is going to be there. Oh, there's the government for you. Not giving you the fucking money you need for your retirement. There we go. We don't have to pay people the money we promised them. Fucking asshole.
Also appointed chief savings officers at every city agency, which he says found $1.77 billion in savings. These savings include cutting contracts, modernizing technology, and giving up unused spaces. Now, Mamdani briefed both city and state lawmakers about his budget plan this morning. City Comptroller Mark Levine warned that some of these cost-saving measures are only temporary fixes.
We've avoided drawing down on reserves at least, which would have really been unfortunate considering the environment. There still is a reliance on a number of one-shot.
I don't know why the hell they haven't gotten rid of the sanctuary city bullshit. Like, it's crazy. New York spends $80,000 a year per homeless person. California, which is one of the worst in the fucking nation, I think it's like $10,000. Oh, and California is fucking particularly bad. New York blows them out of the fucking water. Like, it's nuts. And then they keep complaining about these budget crises. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Measures, and those are tools that are then going to be off the table next year.
Now the city council must vote on this budget before July 1st. Reporting.
Yeah, so he's just gonna bankrupt the city. And you have all these idiots posting this. Yeah. Somebody's a little stupid. Yeah. Budget deficit, erased it, making it 0. Based on literally an $8 billion bailout. Based on speculation about a fucking tax bill that nobody's even fucking passed. Like, these people are fucking delusional. I didn't know how OP fracking watched this.
Well, if there is an epicenter for global oil production, you might be thinking it's Saudi Arabia, you might be thinking it's Russia, but actually, perhaps a better place is the United States of America, and I'll show you the charts on that in just a second. But first of all, we visited Texas, and specifically, you know, you'll be familiar with, you know, if you've watched Dallas back in your youth many years ago, the fact that this has always been a big oil area for US production. But what's changed recently is fracking, so hydraulic fracturing, which basically means you're sending down drills underground, it's going horizontally through the rocks and getting the oil out of different parts of rock than you would normally be getting. And initially this started off in other parts of the US for gas, but now in the US, in Midland, Texas, around the Permian Basin, which is kind of this part of Texas, it is enormous. And when I say enormous, okay, so have a look at this. This is a pump jack, you know, what we'd call a nodding donkey in the UK, just in the middle of Midland, Texas, just outside Midlands. If you kind of zoom out, so that's one pump jack, just look at the scale of how many drilling wells, how many of these pump jacks we are talking about spread all the way across this part of Texas. And actually it goes way beyond where this satellite imagery shows you. Just
Well, that explains how Texas produces so much oil.
underlining the scale of what we're talking about and extrapolating that scale, which is kind of 1 million or so of these drilling wells across all of America, which is, you know, multiple times. It's about 70 times the number of Starbucks there are in America. Looking just at the impact of that, there is something really consequential, and this is consequential for geopolitics here, which is this line is showing you American consumption of crude oil and all of the other kind of liquids that go alongside it, which has been kind of relatively high for a long time, goes back to 1980. Now look at domestic production of crude oil and other liquids. You can see there's long been this gap, hasn't there, between the two lines. That's what America needs, that line. And look at the change that we've seen in recent years. That rise is totally extraordinary, and it leaves us in this unprecedented place, at least in the post-war period, where America, statistically at least, is producing more crude oil than it needs to consume. Now, in practice...
Yeah, fracking works. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Tunehead has owned Hassan.
The other day, I made a video about the pragmatic...
I don't know if, well, you know what, actually, I do know. I don't care. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. She's fucking retard.
It's like saying when the city of Detroit declared bankruptcy, they skillfully balanced the budget. It's pure insanity and backwards lunacy. And again, people like Destiny are eating this shit up and promoting him.
Well, Destiny's become a complete fucking retard. Like, he's actually brain broken from Trump derangement syndrome. It's not even funny. Thanks for the donation, Sid.
17 claims of attacks targeting mostly Jewish sites in 7 weeks. We've been
Yeah, these are all Iranian-backed operations, right?
investigating Iran's possible links to these incidents, an investigation that has led us to a stunning discovery of something.
That shooting in Australia, that actually has links to Iran as well. So yeah, Iran's doing all this fucking shit.
So sinister that, as we'll show you, is happening right in the open. They're asking me if I have access to Zionist individuals or assets.
It was just a matter of time that one of our communities was going to come under attack.
We saw him taken away by an ambulance. Days after the war in Iran began, firebomb and arson attacks hit buildings including synagogues, Jewish centers, and schools in Europe. A previously unheard of group calling itself Harakat Ashab al-Yamin al-Islamiyya, the Islamic movement of the Companions of the Righteous, claimed the attacks in not-so-sophisticated videos and statements. We found that the claims seem to first appear on these Telegram channels that are associated with Iranian-backed Iraqi groups. A source close to Kataib Hezbollah, the most powerful of Iraqi Shia paramilitary groups.
These people are just fucking baboons. I feel like the U.S. is not using its... Well, it's just not. The U.S. really should use more of its nuclear arsenal. Exterminate these fucking cockroaches.
That works closely with the IRGC confirmed to us its links to Ashab al-Yamin and told us some of its members are Iraqi. Security experts believe the group is just a front for the IRGC. British counter-terrorism police are investigating Iran's potential links to the London attacks and whether the regime may be hiring criminal proxies to carry them out, possibly recruiting people online. When you think of online recruitment by foreign intelligence services, you might assume that's something happening in the deep, dark corners of the internet. But take a look at what we found. This Telegram channel in English and Hebrew called VIP Employment says it's recruiting, quote, high-paid agents. It claims for Iranian intelligence. If you're ready to take the next step, it says hit the start button. Undercover, producer Flo and I started 2 separate chats, exchanging direct messages over several days with these accounts.
So my conversation begins with someone calling themselves Sina. They quickly ask me lots of questions about myself, trying to get to know me. And then they assign me a task. 2 posters, anti-Trump, anti-war posters. They asked me to film myself, putting them up on the streets of London and offer me $2 per poster paid in crypto. And later on in the conversation, they seem to coach me on how to avoid CCTV cameras. Do it in a place where there are no surveillance cameras, they say. At one point, I question, how can I confirm you are Islamic Republic intelligence, as you say you are? And they say,
why does the Young Turks defend Iran? VG?
Well, because they're fascist retards. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
The work I assigned you is against the policies of the filthy Zionist regime and America.
With me, they get straight into it. What are my capabilities? What action can you take against Zionist individuals or assets? Do you have access to specific individuals or information, they ask. I ask what they mean by access to specific individuals or information. People who work in security and military agencies, such as the Shin Bet, the Army, and the Mossad, they say. And I asked them if they're only recruiting people in Israel. They said, no, we can hire anyone who can harm Israeli interests or individuals. And with those words, we decided to end the conversation there, but others appear to have taken the bait. We found VIP Employment, a channel with the same name, is alleged to have been used to recruit Israelis to spy for Iran, referenced in this indictment and other official documents. The Israeli men were given initiation tasks very similar to the one we were given by the Telegram account. From there, prosecutors say the men were tasked with filming government and military sites in exchange for money. One of them, an IDF reservist, was even offered more than $30,000 to assassinate his commander.
Jeez.
We can't confirm any...
You know, I wonder if these Iranian soldiers would recruit someone on the internet like Hassan VG.
I'm sure they'd love to. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Links between VIP Employment and the recent anti-Semitic attacks in Europe, but the one thing they seem to have in common is Iran. Here in the UK, the wave of attacks...
You're a Trump fan now? Bad Richard bad.
Congratulations, you're an
Attacks
fucking
has
idiot.
left the small Jewish community feeling more vulnerable than ever. One of the group's targets in London, the Kenton United Synagogue, attacked, they claim, for being, quote, a center of Zionist influence, and its rabbi, a key.
Read the comments on the CNN video. Can you predict what they'll say before you read it? There's lies, Israeli propaganda, blah, blah, blah. Isn't attacks happening every day in West Bank? So they don't like being attacked. Yeah.
Key instrument of Zionism.
Thanks for the donation.
Just take you in here.
Oh, the smell.
Yeah, it's quite pungent, isn't it? And you can actually
Still smells of fire days after.
10 days after, and it's still quite pungent, isn't it? They came from the outside. They smashed this window in, and they threw a firebomb in here. You can see the damage that's been caused.
Wow. I mean, how did you feel when you walked in and you saw this?
I was really upset, obviously. I mean, it's only a medical room. I mean, we can replace it. We can redecorate it and everything else. But what could have transpired, that is really tough, you know.
With anti-Semitism at record highs worldwide, Rabbi Black says the attacks were a shock, but not a surprise.
My biggest concern is that it has to stop. People have to realize that what's happening elsewhere is happening elsewhere, but what's happening over here is plain anti-Semitism.
A 17-year-old British national pleaded guilty to arson without endangering life. In a written statement, he apologized. He said he has nothing against the Jewish people and said that he didn't know that this was a synagogue.
Many of the suspects here and elsewhere in Europe are teenagers. Authorities are warning anyone considering getting involved in these attacks for quick cash. They will be, quote, used once and thrown away.
Remove the option to donate for sit-ups or do the 3 sit-ups you've owned us for 2 weeks.
Okay, sure. Thanks for the donation, dude.
But it seems these attacks may have already opened the floodgates, emboldening others to follow. On our way back from the synagogue, we noticed a heavy police presence.
As we were making our way, we heard that people had been stabbed here. And as we approached the police lines, we could see at the time the suspect was still on the ground, surrounded by the police.
2 visibly Jewish men were stabbed. From the shadows, Ashab al-Yamin claimed the attack without providing evidence of links to the suspect, who, according to police, has a history of mental illness and serious.
And it's at an all-time high thanks to these pro-Palestine supporters like the Young Turks or Hassan.
Yes. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
This violence. Claim, confuse, intimidate, and inspire. That's all part of their tactics, leaving so many in this community bracing for even darker days ahead. Jumana Karachi, CNN.
Would like to do. So don't let them do it. There's a new piece in the trash publication, the New York Times, talking about why we are having so few babies. And again, the answer as to why we are having so few babies is actually quite clear. Why are we having so few babies? Fewer people are getting married and fewer people are religious. That's the answer. And there are no more.
No. Cross-culturally, no matter where you look at in the world, no matter how religious a community is, you're seeing a reduction in birth rate. So it's clearly not marriage and religiosity. But you can go to shithole black communities where dudes have like 15 kids. So, and they're not married. So what it is there's just not a logical incentive to have kids. Doesn't make you any more money. Doesn't improve your life in any way. It makes everything more difficult. It's more expensive. And nobody really needs kids anymore as like retirement insurance. Like, people are working more skilled jobs that require like more time commitment, more education, and it doesn't require like manual labor. So you don't need kids to help you work a field on a farm, or take care of you when you get older. Like, there's just no real logical incentive other than I just want kids because I think it's fun. So if there's no logical self-interest in having kids, you're just going to see people have less kids. That's the primary driving factor.
Answers. Those are all the answers. This idea that it's rooted in sort of economic turmoil is nonsense. There are lots of poor countries all over the world where people have tons of babies. The notion that this is rooted in the inability of people to get married is total crap. It is easier to get married now in 2026 than pretty much any time in human history. You have more freedoms, you have more rights, you have more abilities, you have more economic capacity. And the idea that there's some sort of gigantic conspiracy to stop you from getting married is total trash. It is nonsense. Nonetheless, the New York Times ran a piece called by a woman named Anna Louise Sussman, called Inconceivable, the Impossibility of Family in an Age of Uncertainty. And basically the case that she makes is the reason that people are not having babies is young people's inescapable and crushing sense that the future is too uncertain for the lifelong commitment of parenthood. Call it the vibes theory of demographic decline. I would just note at this point that we had a lot more certainty about, where things were economically speaking in, say, 2006. And guess what? The birth rates were still really low. It turns out that when people are irreligious and rich, they don't have lots of babies. That's it. That's the whole thing. I mean, again, I hate to break it to you, but if you want to have lots of babies, if you want to get married, you can still do those things. You can still do it. The fact that people who speak common...
It's the way he's talking, it seems like he knows the real answer to this question. Again, there's no logical self-interest in having children. So what does he think he's doing by saying some of this shit? Like, the only way to fix the problem is to create logical self-interest, and claiming Magic Sky Wizard wants you to do that. Again, that has nothing to do with logical self-interest.
Common basic virtues. Those are some of the people who are hated the most in the online world. Demonstrates, I think, where we're at. It is much easier to get rich in the online world, in a world that is not real, by claiming it is impossible for you to get married. Now, you're a young dude, you're having trouble getting a date. It's because women suck. It's because women are terrible, and it's impossible.
Why? Just why do these fucking conservatives worry so goddamn much about people they don't know having kids?
Well, it is a problem. It's just, they're stupid. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Possible to find a good woman. You don't have to go to church. Even if you went to church, would you find a good woman? Women are really just venal and terrible, OnlyFans girls. That's all women are. That feels better for a lot of young men than, hey, you know what you might want to do? Get a job, work out, look decent, go to church, find a girl. When your team's communication is scattered, people notice, especially your customers. Messages slip through the cracks, responses drag on. That's why genuinely whole team actually feel trusted. Quote, handle the rest. Need details all in one plus. Get 20 says you can do it. I find that to be an empowering message. A lot of people would prefer the grievance. Erica Kirk, who's been raked over the coals for the great sin of being the wife of a man who was shot to death. Again, I will never get over the fact that we are now 8 months into the period after Charlie's death, and there are still people who are supposedly her allies who will allow the mockery of Erica Kirk and who will continue to uphold the people who are doing that sort of mockery. It's insane. So she gave a speech at Hillsdale in which she talked about getting married and raising a family. Again, this should be basic common sense stuff to conservatives, and yet she is being overlooked and attacked in favor of conspiracy theorists who will tell you that your problems are insuperable.
Charlie would often encourage people, like Dr. Arnn said, to get married young, not rushed, but young. But I just want to...
Like, what speaks volumes about the birth rate thing, and it supports my theory that it's all driven by logical self-interest. You see a massive correlation with birth rate and IQ. The smarter you are, the fewer children you end up having. And, like, people have a lot of different ways of defining intelligence. Like, there's the IQ score thing and everything. I think the best way to define intelligence is the ability to make logical, self-interested decisions. And dumb people lack that. They do things irrationally. They do things that don't make any fucking sense. They base their decisions off of wrong information oftentimes, like, you know, the vaccine is a good example of that. Oh, it's an experimental vaccine. It has microchips in it. Oh, I'm not going to get it. I'm dead now. So, the fact that the smarter you are, the less likely you are to have kids. It just proves my point. The whole reason people are having less children is because it just doesn't make any fucking logical sense when you're acting in a self-interested manner.
Encourage all of you. To the men, you are called to provide. You are called to lead, to anchor your families in strength and consistency.
Great. Erica Kirk's Crazy Psycho.
Yes or no?
If there's an individual who's seeking help from a supervised consumption site, there are health practitioners and individuals in that site that will support them and help prevent an overdose.
So if a 16-year-old comes in, there's no requirements around age? If a 16, 17-year-old comes in?
When an individual
federally?
Who's in need goes to a supervised consumption site to prevent an overdose, they are not asked their age.
So minors can consume hard drugs in a federally approved consumption site?
If there's an individual who's going to seek help, and the supervised consumption site also provides wraparound services, and it can be an entranceway into treatment, recovery, and also housing for that individual, regardless of the age.
That's your context, folks. So, you know, 16-year-old walks in with their safe snorting straw, right? Don't forget that. With their safe snorting straw. Bunch of the adults there are just going to sit there and watch.
In what situation is consumer...
What's the problem with people not having kids? No, it's not. There are 8 billion on the planet. We are not close to anywhere becoming an endangered species anytime soon.
It's not about becoming an endangered species. It's about maintaining enough young people so that society can function. So you need people to serve in the military. You need people who can go to war. And ideally, you're going to have younger people who are fit and healthy to do that. You need labor. You need people to perform services. Again, it's all going to be young people who do that. So, if you want, like, the United States to maintain its status as a world power, you can't have a society made up entirely of boomers. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. Dodo donated $2.
And her take is that you are morally wrong for eating meat. Bitch, what? Let me show you exactly what's happening here, because this is actually...
This bitch is fucking obese, and then she's complaining about somebody telling her to not eat the food that's making her obese.
not a debate about veganism. Billie Eilish gave an interview. She said eating meat is inherently
I do not take the words of fat women seriously.
wrong, and the internet did what the internet always does. It split into two camps. Camp one says she's basically right. Factory farming is immoral.
Dude, she's so fat, her, like, wrists are fat. Her hands are fat. Like, dude, when your hands are fat, like, you know you're fat. Like, see how you can see, like, you know, the bones and tendons and shit in my hands? And I'm on growth hormone. Growth hormone tends to cause swelling in your hands. And, like, no. Like, I have normal hands. Her hands are fucking swollen with fat from all the fucking McDonald's she's eating. Dodo donate $2. Let me see.
We have AI and robotics. We don't need more young people to make society to function starting in a decade or two. Japan will be one of the first countries to utilize robotics in all facets of society.
Well, that's speculative. You never know. With the way things are going in the AI space, who knows? It could end up being delayed by several decades. It's extraordinarily expensive, and nobody really knows for sure if they can scale data centers, or if there's going to be some algorithmic breakthroughs that actually makes general intelligence work, or make some of these like AI powered robots work, or if it's ever going to end up being commercially viable. So it's speculative and it's a gamble, so I don't know why you'd gamble with it. It is a problem. Thanks for the donation, Sid.
To be fair, humanity blows anyway, like, I care if we as a species become extinct anyway.
Okay, well that's nice. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Catastrophe. And the discomfort people feel in hearing her statements is cognitive dissonance disguised as class critique.
Oh no. Something hurt my feelings, therefore it's wrong. Somebody called me fat, so that means I'm not fat. I'm gonna keep eating McDonald's because I'm a dumb bitch.
Meanwhile, Camp 2 says she's privileged and out of touch, and some people in Camp 2 are going even further, arguing that veganism itself is a tool of white supremacy, that the mainstream vegan movement has always operated with white.
If veganism is a white idea, clearly white people are fucking better than you. Guess what? Obesity rates among black women are higher. Like, I think that's the highest category of obesity, black women. So clearly white people know better than you, don't they, you dumb bitch?
Supremacist logic, co-opting anti-slavery rhetoric, dismissing indigenous food practices, and centering white normative bodies.
Oh, indigenous food practices. You know that indigenous people practiced cannibalism? So you wouldn't want to be culturally insensitive. You mind if I butcher, kill, and eat you? Fucking idiot. I'm pretty sure I'm part Mohican or something.
In every clean eating campaign you've ever seen. And what you need to know about Camp 2 is that they're not wrong. The food justice critique is real, it's documented, and it has been systematically ignored by the mainstream vegan movement for decades. But here's what that movement doesn't want to talk about either. The alternative has the same problem, because the produce industry, the one that supplies every Whole Foods, every farmer's market, every aesthetically lit vegan meal prep video, is built on the labor of farm workers who are disproportionately undocumented, disproportionately Latin American, and disproportionately female. Women who face some of the highest rates.
Yeah, you know why that is? It's because they want a job. So, would you rather these people be more broken poor and not have any work at all and be pigeon people and try to pick crumbs off the fucking sidewalk, you idiot? I guess they'd be less fat than you then, wouldn't they?
Of workplace sexual violence of any industry in the United States, who have no union protections, who are...
I'm pretty sure prostitutes have the highest instances of sexual violence of any profession. Not fucking farm workers. Who's sexually violating gross fucking Mexican women picking fucking strawberries? When do they, like, when? How? Where?
This idea that veganism is a white people thing is so fucking retarded it's not even worth engaging with. Especially since what about all the countless minorities are vegan? It's just the same fucking retarded argument over and over. Kill me.
Well, what's hilarious is she's saying this. There's an inordinate amount of black rappers that are vegan. A lot. Who was the fucking guy? I listened to some of his music. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, there's a lot of black rappers that are actually vegan. RZA. Yeah, RZA's fucking vegan. Is RZA a white supremacist? Like, there you go. He's a white supremacist. RZA. Like, fucking idiot. Thanks for the donation, Omni Vegan. Dodo donators, read the comments, VG. They cooked her badly. As a black vegan who grew up in a food desert and still have many family members who still live there, it's really frustrating when some vegans use these talking points, especially when they are wealthy. Many vegans, particularly vegan people of color, find it frustrating as well. Definition of veganism, blah, blah, blah. Manufactured scarcity makes me so upset. There's literally enough food on Earth to feed every person. The food desert thing has become a complete meme with online commerce. You can't make the argument that you don't have access to any food. There's online commerce. Huge difference between meat eating and plant-based eating is the slaughterhouse. There's quite a large community of black vegans. Billie Eilish just pointed out speciesism, apparently a big trigger. There's a lot of black people and just other minorities, Asians and shit, that are calling her a fucking dumbass. Who the fuck takes this fat bitch seriously anyway? Like, what does she do? She has 93.5k subs, and she gets more views than I do. It's just kind of weird to me that anybody would listen to a fat chick. Why does anybody care what a fat woman has to say? Thanks for the donation, though, Omni Vegan. Or Dodo, I mean. JP donated $2.
As someone who was wildly racist but loved animals was Hitler. All 6 million Jewish people.
He didn't. So, in the what was it, 1935 or something? The Olympic Games. There was the black track and field athlete that was on the American team, and Hitler literally said before the Olympic Games, they're going to prove that white men are superior to blacks, and then the guy won the whole Olympics. Like, he clearly didn't have any respect for black people. He also prevented race mixing. If you were black in Germany, it was illegal for you to have a romantic relationship with a white woman. Like, I'm sure it happened because, like, obviously white girls are going to get some black dick. But it was at least illegal to marry. You couldn't do it. They completely banned race mixing. On top of that, that whole thing about Hitler loving animals, that was just a publicity campaign. He was arrested for treason and terrorism. And when he tried to get back into politics, he had a reputation of being like a violent, crazy fucking whack job. And in order to get rid of that stigma, he created a campaign where he tried to model himself off of Gandhi, who was a popular political figure at the time, who was very like peace oriented. So that's where the whole vegetarianism thing came from, because Gandhi was a vegetarian. And the loving animals thing, and he also talked about abstaining from sex, which is also another thing Gandhi claimed to do, even though he's full of shit. So he just lied. He was never vegetarian, and he never particularly liked animals. There's people who worked with him, like some of his generals, secretaries, catering staff. They saw him beat his dog. So all of this is just horseshit. Like this, like why do dumb bitches who don't know fucking shit about what they're talking about make videos?
War murder, the actual death count is estimated to be between 10 and 16 million people. And that includes disabled people, black people, gay people, Romani people, and pretty much anyone that you could think of that decided to defect or go outside the status quo. Clearly, this man had absolutely no regard for human life, but he loved animals. And in fact, he was a vegetarian.
He was not a vegetarian.
In Mein Kampf, he
his catering staff would make him meat. The only thing that's ever been verified is that he reduced his meat intake because it caused him extreme flatulence. He farted like crazy. So I think his doctor or something recommended him reduce his meat intake because of that, and apparently it helped him fart less, but he was never vegetarian. Like, I think up until fairly recently, one of his catering staff actually did an interview talking about what he ate. This was only a few years ago. The guy was still alive. He would eat meat. He really liked sausages.
He described a story when he was on a date with a woman and she ordered sausage, and he said, "Oh, you're gonna eat corpses like that? You're fucking..."
He never said that.
Depraved. He would later go on to kill many, many people. Oh, and don't even get me started on the Nazi animal protection movement, because yes, they passed a series of laws that are still in effect.
Yes, again, this was part of their whole political campaign to make him comparable to Gandhi, because the guy was a fucking violent psychopath who committed terrorism and tried to overthrow the government.
To protect animal welfare. And I'm not against these laws, honestly. They're deep.
I don't know why dumb bitches can't just shut their mouths. Thanks for the donation, JP.
Rizzo and many other black vegans have spoken against white veganism and does not belong in the community.
I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks for the donation.
Speaking of fat, that reminds me. Didn't you and the whale used to order from A&W like all the time? What the hell did you even order from there? French fries and root beer? Fat fucks.
That's great. Thanks for the donation.
Never really been a big fan of Billie Eilish, but my respect for her has increased since she says things that piss off carnists.
Yeah, I mean, she's a dumb bitch, but at least she pissed off Carnus. Thanks for the donation, Ben.
I don't understand people bringing up indigenous people or people with certain health problems or whatever not being able to be vegan, because the people making those comments never fall into either of those categories. Like, what's your excuse, retard?
Indigenous people have extremely high rates of diabetes and high blood pressure and heart disease and certain forms of cancer because they drink and smoke a lot, and also just do hard recreational drugs. But it's particularly cigarettes and alcohol. I don't know how those things prevent you from being vegan. Apparently a lot of indigenous people also lack an enzyme that helps them break down alcohol. So it makes alcohol particularly dangerous for them, but that's generally why you see higher rates of health issues. I don't know what the fuck any of that horseshit has to do with veganism, though. Like, these people are just fucking stupid. Like, again, if they think it's culturally insensitive to deny indigenous culture, well, okay, I'm part Native American, and the tribe that my ancestors came from practiced cannibalism. So I guess it's okay for me to chop you up and eat you, right? It's fucking stupid. Thanks for the donation, though, dude.
And this is why I have no care if our worthless species goes extinct.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
What's your source for the Hitler PR campaign claiming he's a vegetarian and that being inspired by Gandhi? Gary Yourofsky used to claim that. I couldn't find a single source for that before. Are you just repeating it because you heard it from Gary?
No, I didn't actually hear that from Gary originally. I can't remember what the source was. I know for a fact, not very long ago, this might have been like a decade ago, one of Hitler's private staff was still alive, and he talked about what he'd serve him. Like one of Hitler's favorite foods was sausages. He'd eat sausages all the fucking time. And he only reduced his meat intake after a doctor, suggested that it would help his flatulence. AI overview. Adolf Hitler claimed to be vegetarian, promoted this image for propaganda purposes from 1942 onwards. Historical evidence indicates he was not a strict vegetarian. So this is this is AI. That's funny. They link a Wikipedia source, and I'm sure if you go to the Wikipedia page, they might have a source for it. History News Network. Hitler wasn't a strict vegetarian. So, first learned of Barry this winter while listening to the radio. Advisor to the North American Vegetarian Society. Barry was on Left Animal Rights Show. Explained Hitler really ate for dinner according to his research, while Hitler, for the most part, followed a vegetarian diet. Some of his favorite foods were liver dumplings, ham, caviar. Mainstream historians have an elastic definition of vegetarian, he says. Don't hold Hitler to the same standards as a practicing ethical vegetarian. But I know there's an interview with one of his catering staff, and he talked about what he'd eat. He liked a lot of fresh fruit and vegetable soups, but again, one of his favorite foods was sausages. Propaganda versus reality. Joseph Goebbels, Nazi minister of propaganda, promoted the image of Hitler as an ascetic and vegetarian to portray him as a dedicated leader who transcended worldly temptations. So again, they got some of these ideas from Gandhi. Medical diet. By 1938, doctors placed Hitler on a meat-free diet due to chronic digestive issues, stomach cramps, flatulence, but he reportedly broke this diet to consume his favorite meat dishes. Conflicting reports, while some contemporaries include his food tasters, reportedly him eating vegetarian meals during the 1940s. Others confirmed he never consistently gave up meat. So that's the AI overview. But again, he very clearly was not vegetarian. Thanks for the donation, though, Sid.
And to think feminists love to say women on average are smarter than men.
If they were smarter than men, they wouldn't be asking for money in a divorce. So they could make their own money, but apparently they can't. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
This is what every person sounds like when they argue against banning lab-grown meat or arguing against veganism in general.
What a ban. Yeah, that doesn't seem...
Yeah, I just think, I mean, as I'm a member of the Agriculture Committee, and I really stand with our farmers now. And now, of course, we don't want like the factory farm situation, absolutely opposed to animal cruelty. But for me, if I lived on Mars, yeah, you know.
Did he say animal cruelty?
If I lived on Mars, yeah, animally opposed to animal cruelty.
Aminal cruelty.
Aminal cruelty, but
no, aminal cruelty.
But for me, if I aminal cruelty, but
aminal cruelty. Yeah, genius.
But for me, if I lived on Mars, yeah, you know, those kinds of that kind of. What's the lab meat would be a great opportunity, but for me right now, like it's.
But you want to
This guy is morbidly obese and suffered a stroke and has substantial brain damage, and he's talking about how we need to support farmers producing meat, which contributed to his health problems.
Ban it? I mean, shouldn't people have the right to eat it?
It's like actively. I mean, if people have a chance to prevent that, but overall, for me, I think someone that's really. I mean, we are just. I thought, the really highly processed food. I mean, that's exactly the essence of that.
Yeah. So this guy is a retard. He wants to ban cultured meat because it's a processed food. So are you going to ban processed food? Like, okay. So he's bought and paid for by the meat and dairy industry, and he's just saying that because that's his political donors. Thanks for the donation, Vegan Daddy.
Is it scary that I remember all these personal details about you, like how you and Whale would order from A&W every week? I recall you really liked their fries, but what else could you possibly get from there? Just French fries? Jesus, fat obese.
That's nice. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Then again, Billie Eilish is a woman, and women always quit veganism when they start dating a boy who isn't vegan, so she will probably quit veganism in a couple years because she got a pimple or had a tummy ache.
Time will tell. Who knows? Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Sengoku Donatillers, do you think we have free will, or are you a determinist? Well, there's free will, determinism, and randomism. I don't know if there's a technical term to it, but you can have neither, which is neither free will nor determinism, where things may just be random, at least to some degree. But I lean towards free will. There's a few reasons for that. One, we obviously just have an intuition that suggests that we have free will. It feels like we're enacting our will. Two, there's thought experiments that you can have where, let's say you have a machine that can predict every future event because we live in a deterministic universe. And if you're at that machine and it tells you in 1 minute you're going to go to the bathroom to take a shit, well, you could shit on the floor. You could hold in your poop. You could poop your pants. So if there is a deterministic universe that seems to be in conflict with that, because again, if we do in fact live in a deterministic universe where absolutely everything can be predicted, then you having access to those predictions would change the predictions. So that seems to suggest that, at least to some degree, we have free will. It's obviously limited, but to some degree, I feel like we'd have to have free will. Thanks for the donation, though, Son Goku.
Excluded from the basic labor rights that cover almost every other American worker. So let's be precise about what we're actually choosing between here. Meat, produce. Both industries are extractive. Both externalize their costs onto the most vulnerable people in the supply chain. The suffering just happens in different zip codes. Billie Eilish either doesn't know that.
No. Mexicans aren't getting ground up alive to make meat.
Or doesn't care. And most vegans, including the ones with the most sophisticated food.
Okay, yeah, this, like again, don't listen to fat women.
Hey sweetie, are you going out? Can you get me some French fries? Large. Thanks sweetie. That ring a bell, you fat fucking nigger?
That's nice.
A mystery in the Mediterranean. The possible torpedoing of a Russian ship to stop the Kremlin handing submarine nuclear reactors to North Korea begins in a quiet Spanish port.
This really is the craziest of stories about a Russian Shadow Fleet ship that sank off the coast here in the strangest of...
A guy who was born into a Muslim culture is guaranteed to be Muslim. That's not true.
Then why do Christians act like we have free will absolutism?
I don't know, dude. You'd have to ask them. Thanks for the donation.
Circumstances, whose Russian captain confessed to investigators here that it was carrying 2 nuclear reactors, possibly for a submarine headed for an unknown destination, the wreckage of all of which the Russian military spent a huge amount of time and effort destroying.
The incident is shrouded in silence, but concerns the most serious of issues: weapons proliferation between 2 nuclear powers and force being used to stop it. The Ursa Major ship loaded up near St. Petersburg in early December 2024, on paper bound for Vladivostok, with a cargo of 2 huge cranes and over 100 empty containers. It made another stop, loading 2 large manhole covers. You can see them in blue here, along with 2 white pill-shaped objects, which will later prove important. It set sail, a Shadow Fleet ship used by Russia in Syria. The Portuguese Navy followed it from above. You can see the blue covers here, until just before it ran into trouble in Spanish waters.
It was way further out to sea when the Ursa Major, on the 22nd of December 2024, suddenly slowed and Spanish
Who was the lazy one again?
I don't care.
rescuers noticed this and they radioed to ask if anything was wrong. The ship insisted it was fine and could deal with the situation.
But about 24 hours later, it made a sharp deviation and issued an urgent call for help. The boat was listing, this video shows, filmed from a nearby tanker, but probably not going to sink too fast. The captain of the ship later told investigators he'd seen a 50 centimetre by 50 centimetre hole in the hull, the damaged metal facing inwards, a source close to the investigation said. The captain said it had been followed by 3 explosions on the starboard side of the boat, killing 2 of his crew.
So the Russian military arrive in force and they tell everyone to stay 2 nautical miles away from their ship, the Ursa Major. But the Spanish know they need to conduct a rescue operation, so they send this
The only logical... There's only 2 logical explanations for the prediction machine not predicting the future. It's either we do not live in a deterministic universe, we live in a random universe, or due to the fact that there's free will, the machine obviously wouldn't be able to predict that.
ship to pick up 14 Russian survivors who were brought back here, and that includes the Russian captain, who it seems starts to help investigators piece together some of what's happened. But it's hours later that day that the mood changes over the Ursa Major ship, and the Russian military fire flares over it, and then a series of explosions follow, which Spanish seismic sensors picked up, and they send the ship to the seabed floor.
Moscow demanded their crew back too fast, but it didn't happen immediately.
Spanish rescuers brought the 14 Russian surviving crew to this hotel, and it's here where the Russian captain started telling investigators key information. Now, there's been near silence from the Spanish government about this incident, but they've recently released this statement confirming that the Russian captain confessed here to investigators his ship was carrying 2 nuclear reactors, probably meant for submarine use, and he also said he simply wasn't sure if those reactors had fuel in them.
There's no evidence of any contamination. The captain also told investigators he thought he would not stop first at Vladivostok, but instead be told to divert to the North Korean port of Rason, according to the investigation source. That could explain why the extra cranes were needed to help lift the reactors safely. Russia was in North Korea's debt at that time. Kim Jong-un had 2 months earlier sent troops to help Russia's invasion of Ukraine, leaving analysts curious as to what the Kremlin had given him in return. In December 2025, North Korea would claim to have built this, their first nuclear-powered submarine. the Spanish investigation surmised a likely reactor would be this, the VM4SG, shown in a Russian submarine here on state TV. Its dimensions are not public, but CNN analysis shows reactor vessels match the shape of at least one of the white objects seen in St. Petersburg's container port on December the 4th, both gone by December the 11th, when the ship had left.
If these reactors have come out of decommissioned submarines, then they will be radioactive, although obviously not as much as if they were fully loaded with fuel.
How incredibly rare is this kind of transfer of technology? This is quite serious stuff,
It
right?
is very. It's not something that's undertaken lightly, and it's only something that's ever done between very close allies.
So it's a major move by Moscow to
Absolutely.
decide to do this.
Very, very.
Troubling?
Potentially, yes, particularly if you're South Korea.
Everything may have been on the bottom of the sea, but the Russians weren't done yet. And according to a source familiar with the investigation, about a week after the incident, a Russian research vessel called the Yantar, linked in the past to all sorts of allegations against Moscow, sat over the wreckage for about 5 days, and 4 more explosions followed, possibly the Russians destroying what was left of the wreckage.
In the months after, the US may have shown interest in the site, twice sending a rare WC-135R Constant Phoenix, usually secretly sniffing out traces of nuclear activity in Russia's Arctic or over Iran, over the path of the Ursa Major, weaving low at 5,000 feet. One had flown a similar route 13 months earlier, perhaps suggesting its routine. The aircraft's US base declined to provide any details. Spanish lawmakers have urgently sought answers, but got few.
Cuando alguien no te dice claramente y no te da la información claramente y extensa de lo que pides, por lo menos sospechas que te está escondiendo algo, por supuesto que sí. La caja negra nos han dicho que se ha hundido con el barco, que está a 2.500 metros de profundidad y que la operación hace, por su alto riesgo, imposible. Entonces yo creo que la caja negra la tiene alguien, pero claro, no sabemos si es el gobierno de España o los propios rusos que la han localizado, ¿no?
So why did the ship sink? The Spanish investigation said the first impact was likely from a projectile called a supercavitating torpedo that fires air in front of itself to reach very high speed. Others point to something simpler.
The hole in the hull that the captain talked about, 0.5 metre by 0.5 metre. What could make something like that?
From the description I've seen, the description you've given, that hole to me sounds like a limpet mine. It sounds like a shaped charge explosive that was placed against the hull by somebody or something and detonated.
The Russian owners immediately called the sinking a targeted terrorist attack. They, the Russian, Spanish and British militaries, did not reply to a request for comment, and the Pentagon declined to. There are few Western militaries operating there, capable of noticing, tracking and stopping a cargo like this. All sides, it seems, happy for this secret to stay on the sea floor.
Interesting. So Russia was paying North Korea with nuclear submarine reactors.
Assuming illegal fentanyl safe.
Dr. Reimer.
So as I had mentioned, when it comes to all substances, whether legal or illegal, there are risks associated with all of them. And so when we are working in hospitals, when we are working with illegal drugs, we are always trying to provide the best possible, safest options for people.
So what would you tell a minor? What would you tell my child or my granddaughter? That fentanyl is, would you say that using illegal fentanyl is safe?
I think that the toxic drug crisis is a complex issue of which supervised consumption is one area that we need to use in our response, but it goes together with prevention, with treatment.
How about putting them in jail? Or putting them on a forced rehab program or something?
Honorable member.
I honestly can't.
This is insane. So she's saying if a minor who's using an illegal drug comes into one of these safe youth centers, they just let them use fentanyl. Like, oh my God.
I can't believe you can't answer that. Why can't you answer that question? Like, it's very, like fentanyl, we all admit it's a terrible drug. It's ravaged our streets. It's torn apart our communities. And it's government policy that's enabling it. It's enabling these consumption sites. Actually,
They're communists. They're useful idiots. They being trained to destroy society.
our health minister, they can do it at a stroke of a pen. Why won't you admit that using fentanyl next to children is not good? It's not good for the Canadian public. It's not good for our families. Why won't you admit that?
The time is up. You can short answer if you wish to. Otherwise, we will move to the next speaker. And Dr. Reimer?
It is a complex issue, and I believe that the answers require complex responses.
Doctor. I thought one of the first rules as a doctor is to do no harm. Now, some of these people will say, well, we're preventing harm, we're managing harm, we're reducing harm. In allowing these people to get high in front of us, we're preventing them from overdosing elsewhere. Meanwhile, the government is handing out hydromorphone, the legal opioid. It's the legal opioid that we've covered before, and Global News has covered before. And what happens with that is the drug addicts that use that realize that, well, I'm not getting really the high that I need from this. So what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll get my pills. Thank you very much. And then I'll go on the street and I'll sell them to Johnny and Susie on the street that are 16 and 17 years old. And then I'll take the money that I get from that, and then I'll use that to go and buy the illegal stuff. And you know what that does? That increases the amount of drug users in this sector.
Well, they've proven that. Like, they literally give drug addicts free money, and then they just use it on drugs. And drug use has just skyrocketed.
And you end up with more people addicted. And the cycle continues. So let's take a look at some figures and some facts. And virtually all of these facts are from the Government of Canada website. So if people want to disagree with them, you're disagreeing with one of Mark Carney's Liberal agencies. Just saying. Government of Canada website. Funds committed to addressing the overdose crisis. $25 billion through the Working Together to Improve Health Care for Canadians. $758 million through the Substance Use and Addiction Program. For more than 465 innovative community-based pilot projects since 2017. I wonder what those pilot projects are. Oh, right, they're the safe injection sites, right? And it goes through that. $650 million over 2 years, starting in 2024 and 2025, towards trauma-informed, culturally grounded, community-based mental wellness initiatives, including substance use prevention and treatment. Wow! You know, it's amazing that we're spending less on that than we are on actually, giving people the space to get high. Something seems wrong with that to me. Nearly $5 billion through Reaching Home to support communities addressing and preventing homelessness. $72 million here.
You should see Barry during methadone clinic days. I don't know Barry was so bad with drugs. Let me see. Oh, no.
Hi, Nathan. Yeah, this certainly is an extraordinary move. Declaring a state of emergency, it's one of the strongest powers a city mayor has. And Mayor Alex Nuttall says the reason he's doing this is because there's been an increase in public safety concerns, damage to municipal property, and a furthering of the opioid crisis. The mayor says there are between 19 to 23 shelters in Barrie right now, and he claims they're overrunning the city for the rest of the community. He says the tipping point for this emergency order was a double homicide investigation over the summer that shut down one of the city's largest encampments, leaving behind millions of dollars in cleanup costs. The mayor also says E. coli testing at a creek that runs through an encampment were 5 times higher than levels already too dangerous to swim and bathe in. Under this state of emergency, the city's bylaw department will start handing out trespass orders. Now, this is not going to happen immediately. It could still take a few weeks before.
Whatever happened to throwing people in jail for committing crime? Oh, right. The liberals don't want to do that. Fucking insane.
Here, 20 million here, 17 million there. Okay, fine. Harm reduction. We need to support the supervised consumption services, according to this. Authorizing drug checking services, overdose prevention services, access to and use of naloxone. You know, we had to actually have that at our federal agency when I was there. Access to sterile drug use equipment, including a prison needle exchange program. Oh, isn't that nice? And substance use services and supports. So treatment recovery. This is great. Check out this one. Approving injectable hydromorphone and diacetylmorphine as treatment options for patients with severe opioid use disorder. Now, there's a bunch of other things there. So the science supposedly says that, well, in order to treat these people, you need to continue injecting them with opioids. And some subscribe to the notion that in order to do this safely, you have to wean them off of it. Maybe, maybe not. But weaning people off of it is a lot different than handing people some hydromorphone pills, waving goodbye, and wishing them on their way. It's a lot different than allowing a 16-year-old to come in and snort whatever they want to or inject whatever they want to and then wave them on their way. That's very, very different. That's not treatment. There's a word for that, and it's called enablement. It's analogous to having a AA meeting, but having an open bar provided by the government. That's basically what we're talking about here. So what's the effect of this? I'm glad you asked. Total number of apparent opioid toxicity deaths in Canada, 2016 to 2024. Now, they don't show 2015 because before 2016, which is before the Liberals took office, it was a lot less. But this is what they're looking at now.
Yeah.
So you can see the trend and the increase in the amount of injection sites, the increase in the amount of safe supply, and the increase in the amount of these crazy policies has had a direct correlation to this. Now, one of the figures that is thrown out there, and conservatives get criticized for this, is when they say more people died in the Second World War than they have in Canada's opioid crisis because of its mismanagement. And people say, oh, you're making this up, you're exaggerating. Well, we went to Canada's Veterans Affairs website to check it out for ourselves. Second World War, 1939 to 1945. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland. If you hadn't heard, this started more than 6 years of bitter fighting in the Second World War, which finally ended in 1945. More than 1 million Canadians and Newfoundlanders served in uniform, both here at home and around the world. Recall that Newfoundland was not actually part of Canada during World War II. Over 45,000 of our brave men and women in uniform gave their lives, and another 55,000 were wounded. And we thank and remember all of those men and women who put their lives on the line, and all of the men and women in the armed forces that have done so since. 45,000, and 55,000 were wounded on top of that. This is from Government of Canada website. Relation to the opioid crisis. There was a total of 55,000 opioid toxicity deaths between January 2016 and September 2025. A total of 4,162 apparent opioid toxicity deaths have been reported so far in 2025, January to September, of which 96% were accidental. And this goes on. But of note, 78% apparent opioid toxicity deaths in Canada occurred in British Columbia, Alberta, and Ontario. The interesting thing is one of the provinces that actually has one of the lower opioid toxicity death ratings per capita is actually Quebec. And there's a really good reason for that. And that's because they have a lot fewer safe injection sites. They have a lot fewer safe supply options. Isn't that correlation interesting? I found it interesting. Isn't it interesting that BC is by far the highest? And isn't it interesting that they're the ones that decriminalize hard drugs for a few years? And isn't it interesting that they're the ones that have the most safe injection sites and pass out the most safe supply? I found that interesting. I thought you would too. Here's some other things you might find interesting. There was a total of 51,563 opioid-related poisoning hospitalizations reported between January 2016 and September 2025. There were 214,469 reported opioid-related poisoning emergency department visits reported between January 2016 and September 2025. Total of 16,610 opioid-related poisoning emergency department visits have been reported so far in 2025. Emergency medical services. 272,875 EMS responses to suspected opioid-related overdoses reported between January 2017 and September 2025. Notice they don't have 2016 in there, so it would actually be higher. Most EMS responses to suspected opioid-related overdoses occurred among males at 70% and among individuals aged 30 to 39 years of age. So far in 2025. Now here's a study that was done in Ontario between 2019 and 2023. This one is interesting. In 2023, we estimate 2,730 safer opioid supply recipients in Ontario, meaning 2,730 people were getting the hydromorphone pills from the government. Thank you very much, taxpayers. Between 2016 and 2023, mean hydromorphone daily doses for SOS rose, reaching 171.9 milligrams. By December 2023, SOS accounted for 1/5 of all oral hydromorphone use in milligrams. Now, let's just look at this a different way, because you're probably cocking your head at these figures, as I was when I first read them. So we look at it this way. Monthly safer opioid supply participation was low before January 2019. Range 0.18 to 0.47 per 100,000 people, before slowly rising 0.09 per 100,000 monthly,
plus 0.09,
until June 2020, when it rapidly increased 0.54 per 100,000 monthly. And this goes on. Now, the crazy thing is the conclusion of
Dodo Donate Tellers, he really said Tim Apple again. Tim Apple. Who's Tim Apple? Oh. Oh, that's hilarious. I wonder if that's a joke or if that's a gaffe. And others joining him on the trip to China, where he says he'll be asking President Xi, a leader of extraordinary distinction, to open up China so that these brilliant people can work their magic. What the fuck? This is some weird shit, man. That's funny. Leave the music on for these. I'm not gonna do that. I choose 2. I would choose 3. Stop time for an hour or control electricity. Teleport anywhere 6 times a day. Some of these are hard to choose. Telekinesis. 1,000 pound total limit. I think I'd choose stop time once per day for 1 hour. I think that'd be a bit more useful overall. Thanks for the donation, Dodo. Dodo, did I tell her it was a KVG done 2 hours reacting now? Game, you said mostly game stream. Yeah, well... Who's to blame? Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo. We'll game after we watch this.
Of this study said, well, we obviously weren't meeting the need. That was the conclusion. Gotta wonder if a pharmacist...
That's hilarious. So, opiate poisonings and deaths increased using this program, directly attributable to the program, and then we're not giving enough opiates? Yeah, dude, these people are just crazy. These are communists that are just trying to destroy the country. That's insane. Well, that's Canada. It'll keep going downhill until the Liberal Party's out. I have a feeling next election the Conservatives are going to end up getting a majority. I have a feeling.
See, actually financed this study. Because here's my conclusion. When you offer free opioids, more people are going to start using opioids. That's my conclusion. And that seems to be the conclusion based on the data. And it seems to be the correlation that you see with the province that has the most harm reduction strategies versus the provinces that have the least. So, coming back to this, these agencies are trying to look us straight in the face and say, we're not trying to normalize this. You're putting these sites less than 100 meters away from schools. You're actively advertising that, oh, come to these safe injection sites. No problem. You don't have any sort of age limit on them. You have material that should say, just say no to drugs, going out to these kids in high schools, when it's really saying, here's how to do it. Folks, enough is enough. And if you're in Ontario, you should be writing the Minister of Education right now. And you should be writing Premier Doug Ford right now and ask what the heck is going on. And then you should be writing our Chief Public Health Officer's office, and you should be writing the Minister of Health, and you should be writing Mr. Mark Carney himself. Because all of this is policy related. And we've seen this experiment go.
Well, it's the Liberals, so they ain't gonna do nothing. Wait, what the fuck? Oh. Wow, it started in 4K. What a fucking surprise. Ain't that something? Is there not any other graphics options? There's literally not any other graphics options? That's weird. That's really weird. I'm not playing League of Legends because I'm not a retard.
My name is Laura Isley, second in command of the starship Cassiopeia. With Earth dying, we looked to the stars for a new home. Only one held promise, Tau Ceti F. Our objective? Survey the planet from orbit to prepare for the arrival of our sister ship, the colony vessel Andromeda. Humanity's future depended on us. Or so we thought.
Didn't you want me to play fucking games, Dodo? Let me see. Yeah, great. Thanks for the donation.
look at the sun.
This music is really bad.
Sims? Sims!
I don't get it. The branch didn't have gravity, but he's walking on the floor?
What was that?
How do the objects have gravity, or no gravity, but...
Are you not remotely alarmed?
Not yet. Are you?
It sounded like a hull impact.
The fuck? Oh, it's like magnetic boots?
Chances are pretty low.
Low, but not zero.
$100 says it's another Java Bean incident.
That was one time.
One time you are never going to live down.
Breach detected. Deck 2.
That's not good.
Medical complex.
Port side. This deck. The whole area's been locked down and sealed.
Should we wake the others?
We're only 72 hours from orbit. Let's stick to procedure and take a look ourselves.
Should we consult the Oracle?
You're right. It would be smart to get further data before taking action.
Roundabout way of saying good idea, Sims, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Lead the way.
Come on, let's move.
Authorization failed. Additional crew login required.
Come on. Carter, you need to log into your
Why is the
utility
mouse
strap.
visible?
Got it.
Let's get this door open.
Hang on. Let me just test it's working. How could she like this song so much?
Lockdown lifted.
King to C1.
Okay. Knight to E2. Check.
King to B1.
Knight follows. Check.
Good evening, Carter.
Good evening, Oracle. I would like a full situation report.
A meteorite has penetrated my outer hull, puncturing through to the maintenance facilities on Deck 4. I have disabled systems across the ship to conserve power and isolate damage.
We'll make repairs. We can fix this. Right, Sims?
Ready and waiting. Thank you. The breach requires manual repair to prevent further damage.
Is our mission at risk?
My life support systems are intact, but I advise a systems reboot to provide an accurate damage report.
Systems reboot? Wouldn't that make it harder for us to deal with the breach?
I don't know, Sims, but without a reboot, further damage could occur.
Delay the reboot. Repairing the breach is our immediate priority. One problem at a time.
Understood.
Come on. The damage must be shorting the ship's electronics.
Should we fix it?
We need to inspect the hull damage first. Here, help me open it.
The lights are out.
I hadn't noticed.
Must have been a power surge.
The whole area is on lockdown. We're not getting through here.
Convenient.
Hey, Canadian.
The lockdown should be hardwired to a nearby terminal. Open your scanner, see what comes up. Can you see the live wire?
Uh-huh.
Follow it through to the terminal.
Wait,
Hey! Have you checked in here yet?
I was just about to.
Uh-huh.
Right. Have you tried Daring Chicken and Just Brand Plant Meat? No. Never heard of it.
What about
Breached area ahead. Looks like it penetrated through there. There it is. Huh. Looks like the breach webbing hasn't fired.
Figures.
We've got to repair that breach. Looks like the only way to override the sealant system now is from outside the hull.
good for a walk.
It's our only option. What would Stafford say?
Never forget why you started. Would you look at that? Gets me every time.
Come on, Galileo.
We've earned a little holiday, haven't we? Your move, right?
King to C1.
You know I'm trying so hard not to fall over that I feel like I actually might fall over.
Please, don't do that. But don't even say that.
Still thinking it. We should probably check the FTL antenna.
Roger that. Console's just here. Looks good to me. Optical terminal is intact. Transmission speed is dipped, but should course correct soon. Want to run some diagnostics just to be sure. Let me just check the message logs.
Hey, baby. We missed you already. And we wanted to tell you how proud of you we both are. What you're doing is... I know you had second thoughts, but... it's the right thing. The future is all that matters to us now. The future with you. Good luck among the stars.
Good luck, Daddy.
Good luck.
How many times have you watched that one?
I lost count last Christmas.
We're expecting a new batch in a few days, when the rest of the crew wakes up. We've waited long enough.
Antenna's fully functional. That's good news for the mission.
Can you imagine Stafford's face if we woke up to mission failure?
I'm not angry, just disappointed.
Oh, man.
Impact must have boiled the water and caused a rupture.
Doesn't look too bad.
It doesn't look too good either.
If we fix the sealant system, it should fix that too.
Good point. Let's keep moving. We're nearly there. What a mess.
Understatement of the year.
What is that?
Coolant, maybe? Could have leaked during the impact.
The override ports are right there.
Earn Gyoto Tellers, how were you complaining about Pragmata being boring and getting a refund, but this is good for you so far, lol. It's a story game. Pragmata has no story and it has no game. Thanks for the donation, stupid.
That did the job. Can we go home now?
Agreed. Back to the airlock. End of an era, huh?
Hard to believe. Things are going to change around here for us. That's for sure.
Stop moping. Live in the moment, like me. Each day, one step at a time.
I have a feeling we're gonna fuck this chick.
You always find a way to see the bright side.
Mum taught me that. You can't always control what happens, but you can control how you react to it. I can control the muscles in my face, so I use them to smile.
It's hard to, though. Sometimes.
And that's why I try to focus on the now. The past isn't worth wasting a frown on.
Everything I do it for my daughter's future. What we're doing here is a vital step into a new tomorrow. For everyone.
Okay, now you are sounding like one of William's training videos.
We're doing something incredible, Sims.
When everyone's up, you think they'll relegate us to coffee-making duty?
Knowing Williams, I wouldn't doubt it.
Hey, Gum Gum.
Time doesn't have the same meaning out here.
There's my baby.
Those guys close their eyes for a night's sleep.
No.
And they wake up refreshed
Oh
like
my
these
God.
4 years meant nothing.
God. I'm older than Cernan now.
You know, he once told me this.
Sims!
Help! Guards, help me!
Use your thruster! Now! Sims! Hit it!
Catch me, catch me, catch me!
We're okay. We're okay.
I am so sorry.
No. I'm just glad. I thought... Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
No, didn't see the I've been preached drama. Don't really care. Kinda fucking stupid, so.
Should we tell Earth?
We can handle this.
Well, should we at least wake Cernan?
We stick to protocol. Run diagnostics first, then we can decide what to do after that.
Sure.
Years of work on that bonsai. Gone.
With only one branch, I'm sure we can fix it.
You don't know much about horticulture, do you?
Hear me out. Remember when I was reading Fracture and Repair, and there was that chapter on...
Kintsugi. Oh, yes. I remember.
Right! Why not apply it here? Take what's broken and honor its faults. Highlight them even.
That's wonderful. Except, I'm pretty sure Kintsugi is for pottery, not plants.
You can still apply the mindset. Celebrate...
Sims? Are you okay? Sims?
Where's all that shit floating around?
Sims? Stay tuned. Okay, Sims. Sims? Sims? Are you okay? You can talk to me. I know it's been tough for you out here, but I thought you were past this. I'm here for you.
Never forget why.
I'm just going to go wake Dr. Cooper.
What the hell?
Oh! 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 Oh!
It's hard to let go. Earth is the only home we've known. But the truth is, our home is dying.
I don't want to hurt you.
We need to let go. And ask, what if? What if life is not as we know?
How is she everywhere?
My mum is dead. Everyone is dead. Everything. We're all gonna die out here. Where are you, man? I don't want to hurt you. Carter, I'm scared. My mum is dead. Everyone is dead.
Scheduled systems reboot initiated. Please stand by.
Shit. Oh my God. This is Thomas Carter. 48 hours from flight crew wake up. Something's wrong with Sims. I don't know. She attacked me. Oh God. She's trying to kill me. We were repairing an impact to the hull. We separated to repair different areas of the ship, but then... Ah! Ah! Ah!
We have always questioned whether we're alone in the universe. It's only when we come face to face with death that we get our answer. However connected the universe may be, in the end, we all die alone.
Make your camera a little smaller. Alright, give me a second.
Please do stream tomorrow, then I can be there the whole time. At that time, it's Thursday early morning where I live. And there it is a free day because of Ascension Day.
I was planning on doing an early stream where we basically just game. So I can do that. Thanks for the donation, Stitching NoFap.
I wasn't sure you'd be here.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Curfew's starting early tonight. The Met says there's a storm building over the Atlantic. Could be dark for a few days. It shouldn't affect the launch, though.
Sometimes you look just like him, you know?
That's called genetics.
No, it's more than that. It's the way you carry yourself. There's a confidence.
Yeah, you're talking about my swagger.
Maybe I am. Four years.
It still doesn't feel real sometimes. Dad was always gone for years on a mission. I'm almost waiting for him to walk back through the door.
I know. Every time I say your name, I'm taken right back to those first missions with him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry for. It's nice to remember him.
I can't stop thinking about him. Especially now. If he was in our position, what would he do?
I have wondered that myself.
Can I skip this?
Have you taken the time to really think it through?
I understand your concerns, young, but what if we really got to lose? You know, I look at you now, and I see that kid flying wild into the sun.
That was a long time ago.
When your father and I were on Mars, and we lost that CO2 tank. You know, he never once panicked. Just treated it like any other job we needed to do. Calm, composed. I remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, I asked him how he could be so relaxed, and he just turned to me and he said,
Never forget why you started.
never forget why you started. He'd have all the answers. To Bill.
To Dad.
BP 120/70. Heart rate 72. Temperature 97.2.
Good morning to you too.
Take it easy. You'll feel groggy for a while.
No shit.
Oxygen saturation 95%. Respiration nominal. Look up. Pupils equal. Round and alert. Subject is fully conscious. Good morning, Young.
Where's Carter and Sims? Shouldn't they be here?
Well, that is standard procedure. But this isn't a standard
Carter.
situation.
Sims?
What's wrong?
You read?
Stafford and I were woken up automatically by the ship. He's trying to reach the sleep technicians now.
Sims?
So wake up's on me.
You read?
What's going on, Isley?
We're reading multiple system crashes. I've been trying to establish why.
Thanks. Where are we?
Right where we're supposed to be. Within range of the marker and decelerating for orbit. Waking the second pilot now?
Carter? Sims? You read?
Legend.
Simple pleasures, huh? How you feeling?
Like the hangover from hell?
Carter? Sims? Do you read?
Try that.
This is Commander Stafford. Where the hell are you two?
I read you, sir. We're in engineering. The ship suffered a minor hull breach, so we're running diagnostics and making the necessary repairs, as per protocol.
How bad are we talking?
We're still running diagnostics. Once we're done, we'll provide a full damage report.
Gut feeling.
Manageable. Looks like we were lucky.
Anything we need to jump on?
We're trying to establish that now.
Our orbital window is in 1 hour. Have you made engine preparations?
No, sir. The damage from the hull breach took priority.
Understood. We'll prep the engines ourselves.
Apologies, we...
Did you enjoy the Sean versus Kamzat fight?
I didn't see it. Thanks for the donation,
We're
boy.
there to wake you, sir. Can you confirm how many of you are awake?
Just the 4 flight crew. We'll wake the others in orbit as planned. Let's go check on Mitchell. He okay?
Just snoozing.
4 years of sleep wasn't enough, huh? Whenever you're ready, kiddo.
Rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty.
And to what do I owe the honor of this royal
Hey, you
welcome?
can see his wiener.
There's been a hull breach. Carter and Sims are looking into it. It would explain why our oxygen processing is down.
That sounds... bad?
It's under control. But we're only an hour from the marker. Young, Isley, begin engine checks in preparation for orbit. I'll take Mitchell, and we'll reboot the CO2 scrubbers.
How about I save some oxygen and go back to sleep?
Come on, we have jobs to
It's
do.
a good kitty. Come cuddle. Come cuddle.
You feeling all right?
Kind of
You're a
weird.
good baby. Come cuddle.
Feels like I went to sleep only yesterday and now I have a headache 4 years in the making.
Come on.
It's like my body's going one way and my mind's going another.
Cudgel.
That's to be expected.
Lie
Humans
down
were
and
made for
cuddle.
imagination.
3. Science
Just make sure you take care of yourself over the course of the mission. Body and mind. You understand?
Well, these guns have been asleep way too long.
Attaboy.
That's a good baby.
Hey, meant to ask you before they put us under. How do you feel about this being your last mission? Your grand finale?
It's a hell of an encore.
First manned exoplanetary mission. Not bad for a commander's farewell.
Retirement doesn't look good on me. If I wasn't part of this mission, I'd be right behind you on the Andromeda.
Spoken like a true pioneer.
I'm the luckiest commander in the Corinth ranks, with the best team I could have asked for. There's no other crew like us.
It's a real shame we lost McNamara.
It's a good baby.
A damn tragedy.
Yeah, it's a good
What's your
baby.
take on Anders? Bit of a late replacement, huh? You trust her?
I'll be keeping a close eye on her.
Good to know.
Same as I do with all my crew. Isley, we're almost at hydroponics. Head over when you're done.
Hey, baby. It's a good cat.
Okay, remind me why we're here?
Because the technicians didn't do their jobs. We'll need to bring the reactor to full power.
You know, I've never flown something with a reactor this size. You aren't worried it might pop? They get more unstable the bigger they are, don't they?
Don't be sensational. The tech's come a long way since Jessup Station. You struggle to break this one even if you tried.
How can you be so sure?
Because I trust the science. And I trust my ship. Come on. We need to get back on schedule. The Oracle is suggesting we redirect power from the landing systems. Just as well, considering we're not landing. Alternatively, we redirect power from fire control.
Fire control temporarily disabled.
There we go. Just like Christmas.
That's good, considering we've missed the last few.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, this is better than Pregnetta.
Hey. Sit there long enough, you'll grow roots.
Bite me.
Boy. No, it's good to see you taking care of your mental health. And
Engines are prepped and the power plant is fully operational, Commander. We're ready for orbit.
Excellent. Good work, Isley.
What did the pilot say when he walked into the bar?
I don't know. What did the pilot
Given the
say when he-
circumstances, I'd say they're both performing well.
Aren't they just? That tree was a neat addition. It's good to have a reminder of home.
Actually, it measurably reduces the load on our oxygen scrubbers. Plus, its canopy serves as an effective dust filter.
Love
But
my
yes.
kitty.
I had a hawthorn just like it in my garden back at home. It's actually a cutting.
A little piece of you. I'm glad you're with us, Isley. This ship is all you. You should be proud to sail aboard it.
Of course, sir. I must say, I'm disappointed with our sleep technicians. I'd expected more efficiency from them.
You think they should have been there to wake us?
Well, I'd like to know why they thought the repairs were more important. For the record, I'd like to check their service logs.
Very well, for the record. But Isley, do remember that we're all a long way from home.
Yeah, this is starting off very slow. It's even making Gummy sleepy. I love how big Gummy is. It's really good to cuddle with.
It's beautiful out there.
Sure is.
You ever think what you might have been if you weren't a pilot?
Oh, not a chance. This has always been it for me.
Goddamn right. I could die out here.
But that is not gonna happen.
No, I mean, like, it'd be cool. What would you do?
Gosh, I don't know. I'd be dead.
No, I meant with my body. If I had died, would you just pop the airlock and send me floating out into space?
Company guidelines state no littering in orbit. That definitely includes your dead ass.
Cold-blooded.
Ooh, actually, hydro. You'd make perfect fertilizer for the shrubbery.
Oh.
You know, like a back to nature kind of thing. I could visit every night and fill you in on the latest. But don't go dying just yet.
Oh, for you, I'd go for permission. Freeze drying.
Seriously?
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun. Put you into an airtight bag, stick you out into negative 270 degrees, shake you around a little until you shatter into a million pieces. Then, hey presto, finally ground young.
Oh,
Hey.
wow.
Boom.
For now, let's just both stay alive.
No dying intended. Unless I actually land this fucker on Taos F. Ah, hey, I could be the planet's first dead guy.
Don't even joke about that.
Whoa, what's eating you?
Sometimes I can't tell if you're joking or just being an ass.
Oh.
You can just spy on people in their rooms? What if he's jerking off?
Sims? Sims? What was that?
Now what is this?
Right! Why not apply it here? Take what's broken and honor its faults. Highlight them even.
That's wonderful. Except, I'm pretty sure kintsugi is for pottery, not plants.
You can still apply the mindset. Celebrate the beauty and the flaws. Carter?
interference down there?
That's pretty creepy.
You are one crazy mother. Jesus, Stafford.
What's got you so entranced?
The sleep technicians. I thought I'd check their surveillance logs, and I found something weird. Look at the time code on this one. It's from after the impact. They should be running repairs at that time.
It looks odd, but the systems are glitching all over the ship. The camera probably crashed, but the time code kept running.
That's an assumption.
What are you suggesting?
Don't you think it's odd? Is it normal behavior to be standing still, staring at us for hours on end? What's going on?
I don't know, Isley. Looks like a glitch to me.
And how do you explain the missing files, just as things get abnormal?
We don't know how bad the systems have been damaged. We have to consider the facts before jumping to conclusions.
But the facts are right here, on this tape.
Commander, we're coming up to the marker now. We need to prep the booster ring detachment.
Confirmed. Thanks, Young. Isley, you're the last person I need to remind how important this mission is. I can't have you distracted by paranoia. I need you on point.
But, sir...
What more do you want?
I want them both up here providing a full and thorough report. Enough is enough.
Yes, enough is enough. Reel yourself in, Isley. Understood? I need you on station.
Screw it.
Pumps are clear, so you should be good for the burn. Unless she's hiding more surprises up her sleeve. We've run 3 test cycles now, and we're reading nominal in all lines.
Good work. We're still experiencing shorts in the lighting and surveillance systems. Any ETA on a fix?
That's on Carter. He's still in the guts doing wiring repairs.
Can you patch me
Very
through?
nice
I'd like to hear his
video.
voice.
Sure.
The damage must be shorting the ship's electronics.
Carter? Can you hear me?
Sorry, Commander, there's just too much interference down there.
Never mind. Just make sure he's well clear of there before we engage the braking burn. Take care, Sims. Status report.
Deceleration in final stages. We're right on top of the marker.
Okay, let's keep this airtight. Isley, run the checklist.
The booster ring isn't designed for close orbit. To ensure its integrity, we're releasing it into a safer orbit around the planet well outside the atmosphere. Once the Cassiopeia is in orbit around Tau Ceti F, we'll wake the science crew and begin the planetary survey for the landing team on the Andromeda.
Manual detach sequence set.
Confirmed. Sequence is primed.
On my mark. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
We should have visual on Tau EF now.
Let's get her up on screen.
If only Dad could have seen this.
I know.
Hey, maybe we should land this thing. Take a little walk before the Andromeda gets here.
Not this again.
Look, I get it. Not enough fuel to land and get home. I'm just saying it's about legacy.
This isn't about fortune and glory. We were chosen to clear a path for history to be made. Think about that. We trained together. We launched together. We execute the mission together, and we return together. It's not about what we do here. It's about what we learn. Data we gather forge the way for the next great leap in human progress.
Okay. He's good.
Best of the best.
There are anomalous issues regarding the sleep crew. I'm going to perform a search of their quarters.
Sims, you still in engineering?
Still busy down here, Commander. We need another 10 minutes.
Suits me just fine. Don't have time to stand around. We need to get this done before Stafford has my head.
Confused. How do I get in there? That's weird. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it wants me to do there.
Progress can't.
What the hell?
Yeah, Gummy gets mad at me. He bites. What am I supposed to be fucking doing? How do I figure out the stupid, fucking Luna's birthday? Oh. $28 what? 28.65? Oh, August. So that would be 08/28.
Still in engineering, huh?
That means we're awake for the 4-year journey there, while the main crew sleeps.
And the 4-year journey back.
Right. As the wake-up crew, or sleep crew, as we like to say, we manage and monitor the main...
Maintenance error. In Crew Lounge 1. Reconfiguration in progress. Stand by. System error identified.
Well, we're gonna be awake for 8 years, so I thought I'd stock up on melatonin.
I thought you might not make it.
What? I missed years of nothing but video games. Not likely.
I'll have you
Where are you going?
hydroponics, don't you worry. It's important to be mindful. We're pod technicians. That means we're awake for the 4-year journey there, while the main crew sleeps.
And the 4-year journey back.
Right. As the wake-up crew, or sleep crew, as we like to say, we manage and monitor the main crew sleep pods while it's rented.
Cat donated $2 and says cat. Let me take a look.
For this is your final.
Yeah, that's not funny. Thanks for the donation, Cat.
you doing?
What's wrong, Sims? Talk to me.
Warning. Airlock locking clamps released. All personnel, clear fuel junction 4.
Open this door now, or I will have you court-martialed.
5, 4...
No, shit!
2...
Sims?
Hey, I'm reading an airlock alarm at Fuel Junction 4. What's going on?
Shut the airlock!
Isley, are you in there?
Stafford, seal the airlock!
Mitchell, seal it up right now.
Pressurization cycle engaged.
Hold on, Isley.
Closing airlock in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Isley, are you safe? Report in.
It was Sims. She tried to kill me.
What? Why would she do that? Everyone, I need you to remain.
Damn it.
Maintenance alert.
This game is Directive 8020.
Every part of this mission was meticulously planned. Life, however, is unpredictable. Whatever factors lie within our control, the universe always has a plan of its own.
Okay, I gotta go to bed. It's late. But I hope you all had fun. Big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Appreciate it. Should have plenty of time tomorrow for streaming and gaming, because I don't have to train. And maybe Gummy. Come cuddle again. Play this game with us. She's my good little boy Gum Gum. See him? He's really good. He's very soft and cuddly. He's my little cuddle monster. Isn't it right? Yeah, you're my cuddle monster. But I will see you all tomorrow. So nighty night. Thanks again.